All right, shout out to the people who watched my unboxing. Right, I'm gonna go more in depth about what I plan to do with the equipment when I go, and I'm about to go on a 30-day run. I'm about to go and take my stuff. I'm going on a 30-day run because it's time to start making closing deals and making things happen. It's time to start putting my name out there. These videos were the precursor to me touching road and getting on and being on road. So I'm finna get to gyms all over the place. I'm going to a gym that's with USA Boxing on Monday, and probably trying to get to a couple other gyms. I'm gonna try to get to my college my city's college boxing team. I'm gonna get to their gym now that I have all of the equipment that I'll be having available and for sale, and we're gonna try to close gyms. I'm trying to put together packages, and I want to be the supplier for the equipment for gyms all over the place. And I want to start having gyms. I want to not monopolize, but I want to provide the most quality, but also most quality and highest performing equipment in the city. And I want to do that for the city, bro, because everyone, they get all of this stuff from everywhere, right? Different places. And this is what brings me to the topic of this video, right? When you do start a brand, you have to be aware of who you're competing with, because believe it or not, you're competing. The minute that you decide to press print, right, on all of your product and you receive your product, you are now in competition with all of the powers that be. Okay, like for me, now there's tiers to a competition. You can either go form fashion over function, right? You can go like low cost, high affordability, right? You can go you maybe want durability, high quality, right? You want to compete with that market. Maybe you want to compete with the legacy market, right? Which requires a lot more work and requires a lot more creativity, and just overall it does require a lot more, but there are gaps that exist. What do I mean? So for me, I'm competing with the Winnings of the world, the Everlast. Even though I'm competing with Grant, the way that he does business and the way that he built his business, I want to emulate that when it comes to the boxing pillar of this Laxtra shit, right? I would like to I'd love to talk to Elvis Grant at some point, because the way that he goes about doing his business and how he was able to get his gloves in the door in the industry, right? He showed up, he has relationships with these fighters and everything like that. Like, see, he's the inventor or the founder, and he goes and you see him in pictures, you see him with Floyd, you see him with all of these people. He went with his gloves and he said, yo, look, I'm making the best quality gloves right now, and I want you to try them. I want to personally hand them over to you, and I want to personally take photos with you. And he tapped into the fraternity aspect of it. That's how he's building himself to be a legacy member of this game. And I ultimately want to emulate that, but still competing with him. So you have to understand, who are you competing with? If you're making just clothes, are you fast fashion? Okay. Are you high durability, high affordability, or are you high durability and exclusivity, right? Which means you're gonna cost a prettier penny, but you're selling durability, right? Are you going to be, who are you competing with? What companies are you competing with? But the key when it comes to mapping out your competition, that's gonna be where your sales pitch is. It's fixing the problems that they already existed, right? But they were able to kind of turn a blind eye to those problems through marketing. And your whole thing is, as a smaller entity, is coming in and saying, listen, we are aware that these products exist because we are one of you. We are also one of you who understands these problems exist, and I'm here to sell you the solution to that product. Straight up. Okay, and then after that, you tailor your stuff to kind of give it its own identity. But you want to come in, if you're going to compete, you want to come in the door strictly with problems being solved. That's how you make the most money ethically, is by solving those problems that exist. And everyone will appreciate you, and they will be willing to spend money with you. And once they invest in you, then you can get creative. That's when you grow and scale. But the most important thing you have to understand is that you're in competition with all of these entities. Now, figuring out what lane you want to take is the most important part, because if you take a certain lane, when you take a certain lane, you put yourself in position to have the least amount of traffic on your journey. When you show up to wherever you're trying to show up to and pop up and pitch, you're like, okay, this is my lane, this is what I want to do, and I see y'all have this problem, I want to solve it. And then if they say, we don't really trust you enough to invest in you now, okay, cool, you take your rejection, you move on to the next one. That's part of sales. That's how sales works. Your goal is to move as quickly as possible to the quality people, so you can spend quality time with quality people. QTQP, that's what you want. That's what you want to do when you're selling your brand, when you're pitching your anything. You want quality time with quality people, okay? You don't want to try to turn the no's into yeses. The way that works is by you present your full product, they say no. Okay, cool. Then you go to their competition. And then you say, hey, I'm able to make your business better by providing you with quality XYZ for your consumer base. And they will appreciate you for it, and you will be printing money hand over fist if you incorporate this into your business. I'm here as a partner, or I'm here as a blah, blah, blah. As a, licensing, I'm here, whatever the case, right? QCQP, they say, you know what, that sounds interesting, I want to know more. I'm an adventurous guy, I'm a spontaneous woman, I have a little bit extra capital, let's talk numbers. Okay, cool. You want to maintain ownership of your stuff while you pitch, especially while you're scaling. Some people may offer to buy a piece. Don't do it. You know what I mean? It's cool to have partnerships and stuff, but that's for other things. If we're talking about your baby, keep it. You want to own it. All right. Now, if you had a child, would you give your child away to just anybody who just had oh, maybe I got a couple dollars for you or whatever, or, oh yeah, nah, like, I'll tell you, but because they're going to take your kid and teach it whatever they want. They're going to make it into whatever they want, and you won't have any say so because, you legally signed away your right. So this is the key. You want to move as quickly as possible to figure out as many quality people as you possibly can. Obviously, you need a quality pitch, and this is where a lot of people have issues, is they don't stay consistent with their pitch. Because guess what? All these people talk. When they say, hey, did this lecture guy show up? Yeah, what did he say to you? And he tells he tells them the same thing that he heard. That builds trust and rapport with you when you don't have any track record yet, because that shows you're a consistent person. You're not trying to swindle anybody. All of these people, they talk to each other. Do you think that just because they're in competition, they don't have each other's number? At the top, where all the money is shared, they are all a part of the same industry. So yeah, they want to make sure that there's checks and balances in place, and they talk to each other to make sure that, one, no one's getting ahead of the other person, but two, to make sure that the integrity of the business that they're participating in maintains. Otherwise, the whole market will crash. You dig what I'm saying? So, you want to disrupt. You want to come in with something new. You want to come in with new ideas. You want to come in with innovation, but you don't want to be such a disruptor that you crash the market. That's not what you want. Okay? That's the key, is the competition. When you're trying to compete, it's supposed to be healthy. Competition is healthy. So when you show up, you're supposed to, again, offer solutions and fill in the gap. And then when you fill in the gap, it's like how trees grow out of concrete. All right, there's a little bit of space, right? Concrete, it seems like it's not going anywhere, and it's not. But sometimes cracks, they form, and then next thing you know, things sprout. And when things sprout and they get all the way to the top of the crack, then they bloom. You know what I mean? And then it becomes a part of it could just becomes a part of the environment. Then people don't try to always, move it, disrupt it, get rid of it, whatever the case, right? So that's just how you have to look at it. That's how you have to look at when you're trying to compete. Okay, a lot of the time, this is what you don't want to do. You don't want to be trying to compete, but you end up clout chasing, meaning you're name dropping people, you're disrespecting people, you're showing no integrity, you're showing no belief in your product. That's what a lot of people do. And speaking of boxing, if you look at boxing now, nothing but there's so many clout chasers going around. Okay, the Ryan Garcias of the world, who are willing to drug cheat the sport and then clout chase on somebody else's name, even though they have no intention on really pulling that trigger and fighting clean. Keyshawn Davis, he's not fighting anybody. He's clout chasing by saying that he's gonna go up to 147 to fight Devin Haney. He's making all these videos, but every time it comes out when it's time to fight, he's saying no. And then he's talking to 135 pounders when he's at 140. He don't want to fight his friend. Shakur Stevenson, unfortunately, as talented as he is, same thing. He mentions Devin Haney's name for clout, but then when it comes time to fight his competition, he says no because we're all best friends. Him and Richardson Hitchens talking about they're sleeping in the bed together, doing all of this crazy stuff. That's not competition. That's not healthy. That's bullshit. You don't want to be a bullshit artist. You don't want to just say buzzwords and things that'll get you popping now that you have to pay for later. Because guess what? When you got to pay later on, they're coming for everything. They're auditing everything. Don't get caught up just capping, because you'll forget what you capped about to the last person. Trust, they all talk to each other. Do not think you're going to sell somebody some garbage and that you're going to just, no. Certain things you don't have to explain, okay? Like the ins and outs of all of your business and all that, that's not part of your pitch, okay? That's stuff that you keep at home. Your paperwork, your all of your analytics and all that type of stuff, you can hold on to that. You know what I mean? What they see is what they get. That's how, you know, what they see is what they get. So anyways, think twice, and then never second guess your second guess. Move as quickly as possible for a consistent period of time, sorting through quality time with quality people. If someone says no, do not try to convince them to say yes. Just go and take your product elsewhere and let them see how good it does for others. And that's when they say, oh, you know what? I want a piece of that too. Don't leave any money on the floor. Don't hold grudges in business. Don't take any business personal. Leave your feelings at the door. You know what I mean? Do not take it as a personal attack. Just understand, if somebody offers you something and wanted your money for it and you don't have any rapport built with them yet, the only thing that's going to help you is your consistency throughout wherever you're trying to establish yourself in that industry. Because when they talk, they're going to say, you know what, this guy, or this woman, or this, you know, this person has been showing up consistently. They've been putting in the work. You know, they're consistent. They're going to be here for some time. From what it seems like, we've seen them at tournaments. They've had pop-ups. You know, they've started to establish themselves. First, you're an observer in the sport or in the game, and then you start to, you know, you start to participate a little bit, right? You participate in the market. You participate here and there, right? You show up, right? And then you get introduced. Now you're finally introducing yourself to people. They start seeing you here and there with your product, and they've been watching you. But now somebody comes out and they introduce you, you know what I mean, to this game a little bit more. And then you just keep moving your way up. So show up, and every time you show up, show out, be consistent. That's the only way you're going to compete in whatever it is you're trying to compete in. When it comes to that, that's the hardest part. A lot of people don't know where to start when it comes to competition. Go to where it's all at with your stuff and just keep showing up. Keep showing up. If there's a gap for you to introduce yourself, or then do that. Take advantage of that. Take initiative. Don't always wait. But people are watching you. You don't never know who's watching you. That's why you keep going. Don't quit. Because if you keep doing something over and over again, and over again, people are watching you. There just may be a few missing pieces. And when you put those pieces together, everything starts to lock in and change. Trust. So anyways, with that being said, man, I'll see you on the next video. Leave a like, subscribe, and all that. I'm gonna be on a 30-day run. You know what I mean? I plan to vlog this. I plan to vlog my endeavors and things of that nature. And who knows who I'm gonna run into while I'm on my way. We'll see. We'll see. But until next time.